Hi, I'm Charlotte. Welcome back to my bookish channel. So, yeah, I'm trying to get back into the swing of uploading. As you would have known, I would have said in previous videos, or even if this is the first video that I'm uploading, I don't know. I've just got a few ideas going around in my head, and I'm like, yep, I'll film that, do this, do that. Yeah, I've got no schedule whatsoever. So, as you would have known, today's video is the 12 books that I want to read in 2026. And I know a lot of people have gone for 2026 in... Can't even get my words out. See? Still not used to this. 26 books to read in 2026. Well, I haven't got that many. I've got 12. So then that makes it easier for me to be like, oh, maybe it's like one book a month. And we'll go from there. Because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to read 26 books just because it's on this list. So we have got 12 books I want to read. So like I said, equals like one book a month. The books, this is my little reading journal. I'm just going to find the page. I absolutely love this reading journal. Maybe I can do a flip through of my reading journal as well one day. But for right now, I'm not going to show you what's on this page because it will spoil what's in front of me. So, book one is Wildcard by Stephanie Archer. This is the last book in this series and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait. Is it Coach Tate, I think his name is, for his story. The coach's story is the one thing that I have been absolutely waiting for. Let me tell you, I am obsessed. I cannot wait to actually dive into that book. Am I gutted it's the last one in the series? Obviously, I really am. But that series was just so good. I cannot wait to dive right in. And then we have Breathe With Me by Becca Mack. Again, another last book in the series. This Playing for Keeps series is amazing. I've loved every single one. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but Carter Beckett's so annoying. Like, it does everybody's head in. But to me, I think Carter is just so funny. Like, he is a grown man but acts like a Labrador. Like, that's just him. And I think his character is absolutely brilliant. And I love all the characters in this. But this is between Cara and Emmett. I've been waiting to read their story. Like, if you've read the whole series, you know Cara and Emmett are the first couple that are actually together. And Cara tries to keep Carter away from her best friend, which is Olivia, who are the main couple in Playing for Keeps, I want to think it is. No, Consider Me. That's it. Consider Me. It's right at the top there. So Consider Me. That is the first book in the series, which is between Carter and Olivia. Absolutely love that. But this is the one that I've been waiting for, Cara and Emmett. And I know it's going to break me. It's going to make me cry. And I know full well that I'm going to love it at the same time. So it says, Cara Hunter is a self-made woman, driven and fearless. She's never lost a battle. In fact, the only time she's fallen to her knees was, well, for him. Emmett Brody might be one of hockey's hottest players, but the moment he sees Cara, he's reduced to a single word, hers, and he'll stop at nothing to change her last name. With a love as all-encompassing and fierce as theirs, they become the ultimate power couple. But when they decide it's time to have their baby, they discover their journey to conceive will be anything but easy. As they face off with infertility, a battle that strips them to their bones, they'll see how unshakable their foundation really is. They thought they could survive anything together, but how do you survive when you're barely breathing? And with my second, I suffered with secondary infertility. There was no rhyme or reason for me having this issue. It just happened. And it took us over 2 years to try for our second baby. So I know how it feels to be in that cycle of getting them tests and seeing the negative result. But I want to see how it's portrayed in this to see if it is exactly like the feeling, if that makes sense. So this is book number 2 that I want to read. So I am just working through this list. And then we have Our Infinite Fates by Lauren Stephen. So I I seen this book because it was all over TikTok. I haven't got a clue what it's mostly about. All I know is it's just like a fantasy type book. And I was like, okay, I want to try and read more. As you can see, this is mostly like romancy, lovey-dovey stuff. So, this one is the ribbon binding their wrists together was red as a wound. Evelyn has lived countless lives, and in every single one she has been killed before her 18th birthday. Okay. But in her present life, her little sister needs her in order to stay alive. To save her sister and make it past her 18th birthday, she'll have to 1. Find the centuries-old enemy who haunts her through each life. 2. Figure out why she's being haunted so then she can break the curse once and for all. Most importantly, she's going to have to try not to fall in love with them again. Okay, so it's a romantasy. Oh, the words... I thought, oh my god, this is going to take ages. But the size of this text is unreal. Like, that is huge. Okay, so that shall be read soon. I cannot wait. That actually sounds pretty cool. To try not to fall in love. And then, this is a book that I've been putting off because I absolutely love the other 2 books in these series. And, yeah, I've been putting it off. I'm so tired. Sorry. Yawning. I'm always yawning in videos. You'll get used to it. But hey. So the next one is The Survivor Wants to Die in the End by Adam Silvera. And oh my god, the size of this book is gigantic. It is like a brick. Well, you say that. It's, yeah. I've been seeing that all over the place. All over TikTok. Big. And then they go. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this since it come out. I've been putting it off purely because I do not ever want this series to end. Like, never, ever, ever. I love Adam Silvera's writing, and this series is just absolutely amazing. This is Paz and Alano's Death Cast Isn't Calling, but the survivor wants to die in the end. And it's like it says on the back, Death Cast is refusing to call. And I tried reading some of this, but I thought I can't, so I am restarting this. This was like a soft DNF last year, but I was a proper slumping last year. So when I can get the cover, oh, it's a stunning yellow on the inside. Look at that yellow. Oh my god, I love that yellow. That is so cute. I don't normally like bright girly colours, but that is cute. Saying that, I have got a pink reading journal this year. Okay, so what happens when you want Deathcast to call? Paz Dario stays up all night waiting for Deathcast to call. That would mean he doesn't have to keep faking his way through his lonely life. After a devastating day, Paz decides he's done waiting around for Deathcast. If they say he's not dying, he'll just have to prove them wrong. But right before Paz can die, a boy saves his life. Alano Rosa is heir to the Deathcast empire that encourages everyone to live their best lives, but he doesn't feel in control of his own existence thanks to his father. And with violent organisation called the Death Guard threatening Alano, his end day might be closer than he thinks. It's time to live. Fate brings Paz and Alano together, but they must survive the tragic trials ahead so no one dies at the end. This book contains themes that some readers may find difficult, including self-harm and suicide idealisation. So do check your trigger warnings if you want to read this. So yeah, just check your trigger warnings. Absolutely check them. But if you've read the other books in the series, then I'm sure you would be okay with this. It is a chunk of a book, but hey ho. I am going to have to get my Kindle because the next books that I want to read is on there. So I shall be back in a second. Okay, so the next book that I want to read, I've officially just got my Kindle. And that is The Guest. This is by Nikki Smith. So this one has been on my Kindle for a long time, hence why I've been wanting to read it. And it's about a group of people, or it says, welcome to paradise, or so the staff say as they greet the Hamiltons on a pristine shore of the idyllic Maldives resort. And I can't even get my words out. I'm trying to speak, but nothing's happening. And it starts off that way, snorkeling in the serene blue sea, champagne picnics on a powder white sand and moonlit walks under the stars. But lies lurk beneath the luxury because each of the guests has a secret and they're not the only ones. Months later, a grisly discovery is made. Whatever happened to the Hamptons and how did they And how did their once-in-a-lifetime trip turn into a holiday from hell? So now this is why I want to read it, because I am not much of a mystery thriller type girly. But how did it happen? What happened? Like, it doesn't give too much away in that description of it. And I'm like, I need to read it. Like, I didn't even realise this was on my Kindle until I was looking, like, saying, which book shall I read in 2026? Which books am I going to choose? And I'm like, this one. This one is on there. This one needs to be it. And I cannot wait. Like, I purchased this in 2024. We are now in 2026. So that needs to be read, really, doesn't it? Like, it's been on there a while. So if I read that before the 10th of June, then I would have read it within 2 years. It would have took that long for me to get round to it. Like, that is a hell of a long time. And next book, I do have a physical copy of, but I have no clue where that's gone right now. It's probably in a box because I am planning on decorating my other wall where I have all my big bookshelves, and I'm just looking for it on here. So this is a first book in the series, and it is by the one and only Tessa Bailey, and that is Fangirl Down. I have had the physical copy of this book since it come out. Don't ask me when that was, because honestly I cannot remember at all. But I am pretty sure it is in boxes. I have got 2 boxes directly across from me that I've, because them big silver shelves that I used to have up, I've now only got one up, and the rest are, and the books are in boxes. So I'm pretty sure it's in there, because I can remember packing it away, but I can't remember which box. It's in either or the other, but I know if I go in the first box it won't be there. But hey, it's the first book in the series. That is First Girl Down. All I know is this is like a golf romance. Like, I have never read a sports romance where the MMC is a golfer. Never, ever, ever. So it says, Wells Whitaker was once a golf's hottest rising star, but lately all he has been shown for is his promising career is a killer hangover, a collection of broken clubs, and one remaining supporter. No matter how bad he plays, the beautiful sunny redhead is always on the sidelines. He curses, she cheers. He scowls, she smiles. But when Wells quits in a blaze of glory and his fangirl finally goes home, he knows he has made the greatest mistake of his life. Josephine Doyle believed in the gorgeous, grumpy golfer even when he didn't believe in himself. Yet after he throws in the towel, she begins to wonder if her faith was misplaced. Then a determined Wells shows up at her door with a wild proposal. But his new caddy, help him turn his game around and split the prize money, and consider Josephine a professional and personal life is in shambles. She could really use the cash. Okay. As they travel together, spending days on the green and nights in neighbouring hotel rooms, sparks fly. Before long, they are inseparable. Wells starts winning again, and Josephine is surprised to find a sweet, thoughtful guy underneath his gruff, growly exterior. This hot man wants to brush her hair, feed her snacks, and take bubble baths together. Is this real life? But Wells is technically her boss, and an athlete. Falling for his fangirl would be ridiculous, right? Right? Okay. That just sounds so, so sweet. So, fingers crossed it turns out to be as great as that description says, because I cannot wait to read it. Like, how many times I'm going to say this? I cannot wait to read these books. Hence why it is on my list of 12 in 2026. But I don't even know what's going on with me today. I'm just like, poof. What is going on? I don't even know what's going on with me today, but hey ho, we're dealing with it. We'll deal with it. Next book is King of Gluttony by Anna Huang, the one and only. I have read every other book in this series, and I cannot wait to read this one. I'm saying that as I'm yawning. I cannot wait to read this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it the 6th book in the series? I do not know. Do not question me on that. I think it's the 6th. The rest of them are up there, just above these ones. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm guessing it's the 6th book in the series. Cannot wait to read it. Don't want to look at the description. It's not come out yet, so we are not doing it. That's that. Cannot wait to read that. And then we have, this is something completely out of my comfort zone. This is something completely different to everything else that I have read. And that is Spare by Prince Harry. I don't even know why I own this. I can remember buying it off Vinted and it was like £1. I thought, you know what, let's read something out of my comfort zone. This. Do I have a clue what's going to be said in it? No. Have I seen other people moan about it? Yes. Have I seen other people think he's stupid for leaving the royal family? Yes, but each to their own, he's doing what's best for him, whatever floats his boat. So, this is a big one. It was one of the most searing images of the 20th century. 2 young boys, 2 princes, walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror. As Princess Diana was laid to rest, billions wondered what Prince William and Prince Harry must be thinking and feeling, and how their lives would play out from that point on. For Harry, this is that story at last. Before losing his mother, 12-year-old Prince Harry was known as the carefree one, the happy-go-lucky spare, to the more serious heir. Grief changed everything. He struggled at school, struggled with anger, with loneliness, and because he blamed the press for his mother's death, he struggled to accept life in the spotlight. At 21, he joined the British Army. The discipline gave him structure, and 2 combat corps made him a hero at home. But he soon felt more lost than ever. Suffering from post-traumatic stress and prone to crippling panic attacks, above all, he couldn't find true love. Then he met Meghan. The world was swept away by the couple's cinematic, romance, and rejoiced in their fairy tale wedding. But from the beginning, Harry and Meghan were preyed upon by the press. Subjected to waves of abuse, racism and lies, watching his wife suffer their safety and mental health at risk, Harry saw no other way to prevent tragedy of history repeating itself but to flee his mother's country. Over the centuries, leaving the royal family was an act few had dared. The last to try, in fact, had been his mother. For the first time, Prince Harry tells his own story, chronicling, can't even pronounce that word, his journey, with raw, unflinching honesty. A landmark publication, Spare is the full insight, revelation, self-examination and hard-won wisdom about the eternal power of love over grief. Love over grief. Okay. Completely out my comfort zone. Not the biggest fan of the royal family, to be honest, but that's my opinion. But I will give it a read just to see what it's like. I will happily try read it. Like I said, it's time to step out of that comfort zone, try to read more things and expand my horizon when it comes to reading these books, because I have far too many on my shelves right now. Next up, we have another sports romance. So we have 2 hockey, golf, this one, basketball. And it is Game Changer by Piper. I'm guessing it's Piper Lawson. If I've got it wrong, I've got it wrong. I'm sure it's Piper Lawson. So it says, a steamy, grumpy sunshine sports romance about a woman down on her luck, an all-star basketball player with a filthy mouth and a connection that neither of them can deny. After being dumped and losing my job the same week, the last thing my broken heart needs is a rebound. I'm escaping across the country to find... I can't even speak. I'm escaping across the country to help my perfect sister plan her dream wedding and to prove to both of us everything is under control. But a combination of tequila and turbulence on the flight there leads to a word vomiting all my troubles to the huge and handsome stranger in the first-class seat next to me. Only his whispered, dirty diversions keep me sane until landing. Despite the spark of attraction, we go our separate ways, or so I thought. Turns out the tall, muscular, tattooed tower of a man from the plane is the star player on my future brother-in-law's pro basketball team. Clay is the last person I should gravitate towards. They're called players for a reason. Grumpy and cynical, he carries a weight on his shoulders I can't possibly fathom. He is the only one who knows my secrets and gets my heart racing. The more we're thrust together, the stronger the chemistry between us becomes. Hooking up with the all-star athlete isn't the way to get my life on track, but it could just be the game changer we've both been searching for. And it is number 1 in this series. And to me, that just sounds so fun. Something that's going to be a quick, easy read, something enjoyable, because I love a good sports romance. And I'm, fingers crossed, I hope it is a great sports romance, because I'm loving them right now. Absolutely loving them. And I've been in a slump since October, and I have been trying to read a couple of books since then. I mean, I've read 1 or 2 books since then, but you'll find that out in the January wrap-up. So, because I am filming this in January, I should have filmed it in December, but I didn't. Weren't in the mood. So, next book, well, the next 2 books are also on my Kindle, which means I'm going to have to search them up again, because, yeah, this is me. I leave everything till last minute. I don't really plan shit out. I just go, sorry about the swearing. I will try my best to calm it down, but probably won't happen. This is me. It really is just me. So the next book on my list is The Good Husband by Steve French. And this one, I literally have no clue. So, it says, how far would you go to protect your family? Mark and his wife Amy live the perfect life. They have a happy marriage, a comfortable home in Los Angeles, and a beautiful daughter, Tatum. But one night, Amy fails to come home from business trip to Boston, and her office has no record of a client on the East Coast. Then Mark gets the worst news of all. Amy has been found dead, but nothing makes sense. Why was Amy still in town when he'd waved her off at the airport a few days before? Who was the mysterious client she'd been meeting with for months? There's only one thing Mark knows for certain: his wife was keeping secrets. As he digs deeper into the life Amy tried to keep hidden, Mark realises that someone is trying to stop him, someone who is watching his every move, and when they threaten Tatum to keep him from discovering the truth, Mark will stop at nothing to keep his family safe. So, like I said, it's not what I usually read, like these mystery thriller books. Not my usual thing. Give me a romance, dark romance, or something like that any day of the week. I'm in my element. I can't stop yawning. I need to stop yawning. This is getting ridiculous. So it is something different, something to try, and it is less than 300 pages long. So fingers crossed we get through most of these this year, because a lot of these have been on there for a while. Then we have Legends and Lattes. I do not have the physical copy, but I do have it on Kindle if I remember rightly. So when I spell Legends, I always say it Legends. Here we go. Legends and Lattes. But all that comes into my head is Legends, and I can't help it. Now where have you gone? There it is. Found it. I found it. No clue what this is about. So I didn't want to bookmark it. I wanted to see what the book was about. I apologise for the length of this video, because it will be probably dragged on, especially with my swearing, and I will apologise. I do apologise. In fact, no, I don't. No, I don't. It just comes out. Can't help it. I have filtered myself for so long. For it, I'm going to try hard. Why? I'm going to try not to filter myself as much anymore, because I don't want to come across that way. I am who I am. I like who I am, and I am getting better at showing who I am. Right, so Legends and Lattes. It is a fantasy book. That's all I know. High fantasy, low stakes with a double shot of coffee. Okay. After decades of adventuring, Vic the Orc Barbarian is finally hanging up her sword for good. Now she's set her sights on a new dream, for she plans to open the first coffee shop in the city of Fune? Don't ask me how to pronounce that one, because I don't have a clue. Even though no one knows what coffee actually is, if Viv wants to put the past behind her, she can't go it alone, and help might arrive from unexpected quarters, yet old rivals and newsstands in the way of success. And Fune's shady underbelly could make it
all too easy for Viv to take up the blade once more. But the true reward of the uncharted path is the travellers you meet along the way, whether bound by ancient magic, delicious pastries, or freshly brewed cup. They may become something deeper than Viv could ever imagined. So, I'm still a bit confused. So, Vic is a orc barbarian. That's all I've got from that. Okay. Still a bit confused, but each their own. I'm not a big fantasy reader, saying that I have got a couple on there. However, I am willing to give it a go. It's 318 pages according to the Kindle. Purchased 2024. So again, it's been on there a long while. Like a long while. And oh my god, I need to start getting better at filming because this is getting ridiculous now. Oh, my lights on my tripod have died. I wondered why it went dull. Oh no, they've just turned themselves off. How very dare they? How very dare they? Okay, so like I said, this has been on my Kindle since 2024. So, move that aside. I have the last book, so book number 12 is a book that was also on my 25 in 2025. Did I get round to it? Did I fuck? No, I did not. Right. I have tried this book so many times. I've tried the audiobook, I've tried Kindle, I've tried physical. Am I going to try them all again? Absolutely, because did I spend £40 on this whole series without even reading the first book? Yes, I did. So I have the whole series downstairs, ready to read, and I have this one here, because everyone says start with The Assassin's Blade. I was tempted, do I read it third, or do I read it first? So everyone's saying I should read it first, so we are going to read this one first. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I am really dreading it because, like, what if I can't get into it? Like, do I do a vlog of trying to read this series, the Throne of Glass series? Do I do it a big long vlog that's going to be like 2 hours long? Or do I do it in 2 little vlogs? I don't have a clue. However, I do know that I want to try and read this because I don't want to think to myself, I've just wasted £40 on this book series that I can't even get into. However, though, let's just say it was cheaper than, probably a bit cheaper than £40 because I did get it on TikTok. And I have had it about a year now. A year, roughly. Still not got round to reading it. I will read this. I'm determined to read this. Move. So, it got a bit chaotic towards the end there. So if you've stayed this long, thank you. I appreciate you for staying this long. And hopefully see you again. Oh my god. I will hopefully see you again in another video. Hopefully I won't be off my head. I've not even had anything to eat or drink yet. So God knows why I'm the way I am this morning. It's just one of those days. So thank you for watching. Hopefully see you again soon. And yeah, bye guys.